And there was this huge divide between hard and soft money in the 1800s. And it's exactly what you were talking about, is that a lot of people wanted hard money. So they said, okay, we want our money backed by gold and absolutely nothing else. So all the gold that the United States has in the reserve, that's how much money we have. And then you have people that said, well, we want it backed by hard money, but backed by gold and silver. And so it expanded the money supply, having two sources. And then you had people that said, that's ridiculous. We need soft money, because why would you put a cap on exactly how much money can circulate in the United States? Because that's gonna, now people can't borrow. People are gonna have a hard time investing. And yeah, it ended up falling apart because it is. I think it is kind of absurd to say that.
Yeah. This is always my argument for it. What if a meteor full of $12 quadrillion worth of gold landed somewhere? Suddenly, all of our money is absolutely worthless.
Yeah, and and this is, I hear this all the time. I'm sure you see this all the time, where people say stuff that they think just sounds smart. It's just really, or it's like, yeah, we need to get back to the gold standard. No, the fuck we don't. That's insane. It's like, and I get why people say that, because gold is an actual object that you can count and you can actually measure.
It's such a Dunning-Kruger thing.
It is.
It's you're right there. You're thinking hard, bro, but you're really not thinking about anything else.
And it's kind of counterintuitive to accept, well, this dollar is worth $1 because the government says it is. I can see why that's uncomfortable to people. I can see why they're a little shaky by that. But like what gives the U.S. dollar a lot of power? One of the main reasons is like the petrodollar. That like Saudi Arabia, you have to buy their oil in U.S. dollars no matter who you are. So that gives the dollar a lot of power. And what really gives the power is that the United States government, only if you want to pay taxes to the government, they will only accept U.S. dollars. You cannot pay them in gold, silver, platinum, whatever. You can't. They will only accept dollars. So as long as the United States government exists, that dollar will have value. That's a lot more secure, because there's not going to be an asteroid dropping another United States on the on the planet. So yeah, it's actually more secure than people think. It just sounds insecure.
Yeah, and I always love to just think about how fucked we would be if we had kept the gold standard.
I know.
Like, if we were unable to expand the money supply, and like people hate that the government does this, and like I get the hate. Like I genuinely sympathize with your hate that the government has so much control over the economy. But do you know what's worse than that? No control over the economy. I would rather someone have control than to just have it be whatever, have it be the Wild West. And I circling this back, I think this kind of says a lot about why NFTs and blockchain and crypto kind of become popular at a more like basic, capitalist to communist economic spectrum level, because what these NFTs do is they create a scarcity on something that was previously infinite. And when a capitalist mindset person hears that, the money symbols just start spinning their eyes for Mr. Krabs. Because think about video games. I play a lot of video games. I've never been one to like buy cosmetics. I've never understood the point. But hey, a lot of people like that sort of thing. And if they like that sort of thing, more power to them. They want to go buy for a special skin for their Fortnite character, go ahead. I have no problem with that. But that's an infinite resource, and you can't commodify it afterwards, because you purchase a thing, you have it, you can't share it, you can't whatever. NFTs make that one unique item in the virtual world. So if you can wrap your mind around why someone would want a virtual item and pay money for it, like in a cosmetic in a video game, now you make that cosmetic a unique item that has a scarcity that can then be speculated upon. And suddenly everything in the digital space becomes an asset, becomes a piece of property like land. There are literally like video games you can play on the blockchain that have like a specific amount of land that gets sold off and like you can build on it. And it's the dumbest thing in the world. But these plots of digital land go for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's really just people with that capitalist mindset convincing themselves that everyone else thinks this way.
Yeah.
And the problem is most people don't.
Yeah, nobody thinks that way. Yeah,
the ceiling is only so high, and every single time you hit that ceiling, the bubble comes crashing down. Maybe one day that won't be the case, but it certainly goddamn isn't today.
There are people who have definitely bought into the Tina principle. There is no alternative to capitalism, and they think, well, we're just going to recreate capitalism in a digital sense, like it is in the physical sense, which is kind of absurd, because we use this example too, that if we all just popped into existence, tomorrow morning, like no, we're just billions of people standing around. We wouldn't, capitalism would not be the first thing we try. It would not be the first. We wouldn't be like, hey, all right, we need to have a couple people who are in charge of everything, who own almost everything. We're all going to work for them. They get our surplus. No, that's insane. That's not like the natural human condition, but people have really convinced themselves that it is.
It's funny because I saw a tweet kind of similar to what you're saying recently, where it was like, yeah, no, like if you would have shown capitalism and the systems that be to someone working in pre-agricultural times, they would have just killed you.
Yeah,
like